The best knowledge is to make sure that you are investing your time wisely, because this is something that you could get burned out quite easily. So when you talk about a 24 hustle, and that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's a 24-hour hustle.
Yeah.
You are constantly doing something, and you have to make sure that you break those 24 hours down into like 3 different levels. So you want to have time for rest. You want to have time for vacation. You want to have time for work. So I look at it when Hammonds Initiative, now I've gotten to a place to where I set up, okay, I'm going to put 8 hours in for this. I'm going to put 8 hours in for something else, and then I'm going to put 8 hours in for rest. Because, I found myself constantly getting sick, constantly going to the hospital and things like that. And I said, well, why is it? If you're constantly in contact with sick people, chances are you're going to get sick. If you're not eating properly, if you're not doing proper exercise and things like that, you continue to hurt yourself, and you end up burning yourself out. So self-care is very important. Is something that I've learned, that if you're going to do this line of work, if you're going to be out into the community, and also making sure that you spend your time with the right people, because a lot of times people just jump out there and they try to associate and connect themselves with just everybody and anybody, and that's not what you want to do. You definitely want to, as the Bible says, connect yourself with wise counsel. You want to be around people that you can learn from. If you're the smartest person in the room, then you need to go into another room.
Exactly. Let's talk about that, because that's something a lot of people don't necessarily do, or they're afraid to cut off maybe people that are toxic in their relationship, or or people that are not trying to better themselves, or the people around them aren't trying to better themselves. So that also influences them highly as well. So how have you been able to navigate in your networking and connected with so many great people, and how have you been able to develop those relationships and add value to other people so that they've been able to add value to you?
Well, the biggest thing with me is a lot of times people are afraid to cut people off. And what I do is I really don't cut people off. People always say, well, I have a certain amount of people in my circle. I look at it, if you look at a target, you have all these different circles, and then you finally get to a point to where you have your bullseye. Your bullseye is your ultimate target, and that's in the center. That's your inner circle. I have associates that are on the outer stretch of a circle. And then as it comes in closer, you have the people that you know that you can count on, that you could be your true self with. Because a lot of times you go out in the community, you can't be yourself with just everybody and anybody, because there's judgment. And then there's also people that will look to use things against you. And for a person such as myself that looks to pursue political endeavors in the future, everything that you do is under a microscope. So you really just have to really be cautious of who you have in your inner circle. And then when you're doing things like that, you look at other people who are where you want to be. So when I look at you and I look at all your different talents, and then I look at somebody like a Jimmy Fallon, I always say that I can see you in the future with your band.
I have my roots band.
There you go. You can have all those things. So if I was you, I would look at, okay, who could I associate myself with who's doing the things that I'm doing, but maybe on a bigger level? With me, I look at people that inspire me, like Jake Wheatley, who's a Marine, who's also the state representative.
We'd love to get him on the show, by the way.
Great guy, great Marine. Yeah. So I look at people like that, that I look up to, and I spend time with and try to pick their brain. State Representative Ed Gainey, people like that. Lee Davis, who is a branding genius. My brother, Devin Hammonds, who I'm blessed that that's my younger brother that has promotional push. There's so many people that I look around and I see that are so intelligent. Harry Johnson II would be me. Julius Boatwright. There's a lot of people out there that are, just pure genius that you have to look at and say, these are people that I want to talk to, that I want to build relationships with, because ultimately those are individuals that will better you, and then what you have to bring to the table, you'll be able to better them as well. So that's what it's all about. It's about iron sharpening iron, and that's another beautiful thing. Cornell Jones, who's a big brother to me, who is very important in my life, is another person that's in my inner circle that continues to better me and allow me to expand my growth. So it's always about finding different people who could help you grow, because it's all about growth. Who wants to remain stagnant?
Right, absolutely.